community in Shanghai, as well as a very large directory of business services. We're not a multinational, a very small startup company here in China, and I've been here for about almost 4 years in Shanghai, and before that, other places around Greater China. But not to talk about the company at all, I really have to say that I'm honored to be standing up here today, opening up a discussion with Craig Kielburger. My story is not nearly as impressive as what's been written here so far by Kielburger himself, but I hope one day that what I started last summer with the NextStep Green Business Forum will be one day something to inspire people to both think and act in a green way, both in their professional and their personal lives. I'm not an environmental activist. I don't own a green business, and to be honest with you, my understanding of environmental sciences is pretty weak. It's actually very, very weak. But what I did have, and I still have today, is a passion to enact change. And every day, whether it's with my business or whether it's with this mission, is to get up and actually do these things. The NextStep Green Business Forum is what I'm going to talk about. It parallels in a very, very small form what Craig has done over the past 12 years, 13 years now. But what brought me to create this event was really kind of a perfect storm of a couple circumstances. It goes back to, one, my friends that were in green business, very deep in green business, or were promoters and activists of social awareness about what we need to do to get ourselves out there and get ourselves greener. Two, I was reading a book, and the title of this book is The Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. And this book is dirty. It lays out everything that is going on with big government, with big contracts. And to be honest with you, I really thought that was my future professional life, was going down that road in some way, some shape, some form. And when I read that, I have to say, I completely walked away from all of those aspirations. The third thing was a movie. Leonardo DiCaprio actually produced a movie called The 11th Hour. If you haven't watched it, go out and watch it. It's powerful. It may sound corny that a movie could push you to actually get active, but it did. And he put together about 50 or 60 professionals from different fields, environmental science, sociologists, psychologists, and just general activists, and put them all together on one film with a huge message to get yourself out there. That was what the message was all about. It wasn't just about information and teaching you about the world as, crumbling before our very eyes. It was giving you the tools to walk out and actually do something. All right? And this is what kind of got the ball rolling for me. Also with the NextStep community. We have about 8,000 people that we regularly email throughout Shanghai on a regular basis. So they were my agents of change, all right? And what I did, my goal for this event really was to make people aware of what we knew the writing on the wall was. And that was, our environment has got problems. We all know that. But much more importantly was to give leaders, both in the business world and in our general community, the tools to get active, to walk out of that forum and make some change. And to empower people, you have to give them the tools, like I said, and you have to give them strong tools. So what we did is I'm not, like I said, I'm not an environmental activist. What I did is we brought together specialists in 10 different fields in environmental science. And 3 of those people are very, very critical to the success of the event and pushing people out. One, her name is Zizi Zheng. She's from Roots and Shoots. Probably some of you in here know her quite well. A fantastic woman, does some unbelievable stuff here in Shanghai, and a person you should all get to know. And what she was promoting that day is something called her Eco Office Audit Program. If you've never heard about it, hear about it. Go and find Roots and Shoots Shanghai and get your office audited today. All right, that's one. 2 is a woman by the name of Michaela Clayton from Greenovate. And she runs, Greenovate is an environmental consulting company, and they also have a great program. It's called GECKO, G-E-C-K-O. And it's an acronym that works with youth empowerment. And they go around China teaching young kids how to, get active in the green space and teach them real life skills to be, enablers of change in the future. A powerful, powerful woman. And lastly is a gentleman by the name of Oh Ku. He's one of the directors for an organization called JUICE, J-U-C-C-E. And what they do, they've created a program here in China that is taking incandescent light bulbs, like these guys up here, and taking them out of poverty-stricken homes and putting in CFLs. And those CFLs save lots of energy and help reduce, carbon dioxide emissions throughout the world. Those 3 people have the ability to give everyone that's in this room and everyone that was in that room that day to the tools to make change right when they walk out the room. And that's what we were all about. So we put this all together in 4 weeks with the help of one intern, one of my business partners right here, Gregory Prudemal. And we did affect change on many levels. I just spoke to Roots and Shoots last week, and when I spoke to them, they were telling me that Michelin Asia Pacific headquarters, which is just in Zhongshan Park, actually just signed up for the Eco Office Audit, as well as several other smaller companies that have signed on since then as well as signing people on to programs that Greenovate are doing and also Juice are doing, plus all the other companies that were speaking there that day. And in 2009, NextStep is making it a very, very critical piece of what we're doing is holding every 2 months green forums, conferences, to get people the tools they need to get out and get active. Really, we all need to be doing this. I'm very, very passionate about it. I'm not a scientist. I never had a green background, and I want to push you out there today to get active. And so what I want to wrap this all up with is, take your presence in this room. I think we're all very, very fortunate to be here today, with Craig and with everyone who actually wants to enable some type of change. So take your presence here today in this room, at this event with all the people around you as your motivation for change, all right? And that change may come, with Free the Children and B2E, or maybe you want to become an environmental activist, or maybe you have some other program you want to support. But just get out and do it, and get people behind you to go and do it. So the most important thing to remember, and this is kind of, it focuses on what B2E is the power of one. One voice and one person's actions can empower a movement. And, just don't forget it. And that's all I have to say. So thank you very much. Greg, thank
you. Parts of the world where we do work in Haiti, where we see RCMP helping to train local police, to parts of ex-Yugoslavia, Canadian peacekeepers who are active on the front lines, to, of course, fellow Canadians who are active in companies around the world.